So when it comes to how you parse out your money whenever you get paid, whether it's a corporate gig or an artist gig in some way, there's a couple different ways to do it. And there's a couple different schools of thought, right? You have Dave Ramsey. He talks about getting actual envelopes, and you can stick different parts of your paycheck into this envelope is for rent. Okay. Only rent goes into this one. This is my fun envelope. This is my water envelope, my bills, my phone bill, my whatever bills you have. Put them in an envelope so you can put them in and then you can pay them. Okay. That's what he recommends. And he has a book. And for some people, Dave Ramsey, they call him Reverend Ramsey. And he is great for them. There's also a book called, again, Rich Dad, Poor Dad, by Rob Kiyosaki. That's a great book as well. It talks about a little bit more of the investor mindset when it comes to entrepreneurial line of work. If you're going to be starting your own business, because it takes a different mindset, right? Acting is an entrepreneurial endeavor. If you are an actor, you are going to have to hustle. You are going to have to market yourself. Until you get an agent or a manager, somebody repping you, you will have to do it yourself. No one's going to do it for you. And that's a great thing because that means that you can tailor it specifically to what you want to say about you. And if you don't know exactly what that is, that's okay. You're an artist. You're going to figure it out and you have all the freedom to figure it out because you're an artist and that's what you do. Artistry is expression, self-expression especially. So you get to figure that out. But Rich Dad Poor Dad talks about, how you can kind of structure things, talks a little bit more about real estate investing, really what it goes to, but it says try things out. For you, when it comes to acting journeys, try things out. I love income bearing assets. Okay. But I don't just have income bearing assets. I also have capital gains. I have some things that at some point, if I want the money from them, I will have to sell them. Nothing is black and white in the industry except the law. Okay. So keep that kind of stuff in mind whenever you're looking at your finances and you're thinking about, okay, I want to start investing. I want to start working on my financial future. Okay, here's what I can do. Keep in mind that there are different strategies to go about. Try them, test them, figure out which one works best for you. And I would love to help you with that. Okay. That's the first one. The Richest Man in Babylon is also a tremendous book. It's more of a story, but it's a great story about this guy who is this poor kid who learns how to set aside 10%. Talked about that in the last video. He sets aside 10%, and then over time he becomes the richest man in Babylon. Don't want to spoil it for you, but I kind of just did. It's a great book. Get it and read it anyways. Okay. It will talk to you about some ancient, this is in a very old book, and it'll talk to you about some ancient principles when it comes to the art of finance and investing and really looking out for yourself and your investments based on how you get paid. As an artist, you have to keep this in mind. Most artists live paycheck and they barely make it to that next paycheck. And then that paycheck barely makes it. And that is because when you're an artist, you have to hustle. You have to hustle hard to keep the artist's dream alive. You also have to hustle to keep yourself alive. Okay. What I mean by that is, aside from how it sounds, what I mean by that is, as an artist, as much as it may pain you initially, you should set aside time where you devote only your full attention to your art every day. And then the rest of the time, you should be busting your butt to make as much money as possible so you can escape this whole paycheck to paycheck cycle. That ties into the Rich Dad Poor Dad. That ties into the Richest Man in Babylon. That ties into Dave Ramsey. It all works in together because it's all principles that you can use. Just figure out which one works best for you. Okay. For me, I work 12 hours a day. And then sometimes I come home and do this if I can. Other times I have auditions to do. I don't always have time to do everything I want to do. And that's okay. Give yourself grace as you're expanding and learning how you want to do this. But you need to just buckle down and like, okay, this is going to suck. There's going to be days where I don't get to do the artist thing. That's okay. I have a day this week where I will, and I'll feed that part of my soul. But in the meantime, I'm going to feed the part of me that's going to make it to where I get to do more art in the future. Okay. Huge thing I wanted to talk about, was, these concepts and these principles about paying yourself. If that's, I guess the big lesson is you got to pay yourself, man. Pay yourself your time and your energy. You want other people to pay you for your time and your energy. Pay yourself first. Give yourself a vacation. Give yourself a relaxed day, or not a whole day, maybe like You should always be working on something. Mental health excluded. Take care of your mental health. But if you can, you should always be working on something. But even on days when you're working on something, there should be a time where you're like, okay, I'm going to decompress for an hour or two before bed, and I'm going to read a book, I'm going to watch a show, I'm going to study, I'm going to play games, whatever it is. Have that decompression time. It's crucial, but the biggest thing is work, 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 work. Because if nothing else, when you get to the level where you are really in that artistry phase, because you have enough finances coming in from all these gigs you're getting, your work ethic that you build now will determine your work ethic when you're there. Let me try to say that a better way. If you work on your let's try it this way. Okay. You should always be working on something as an artist. Okay. As much as you can, as long as you can, because the work ethic you develop for yourself now, before you make it in the artistry endeavors you want, will be the work ethic you carry with you when you have made it. And if the work ethic you have is, hey, I work 12 hours a day, when you get to a film set and it's a 13-hour workday and 1 hour of that is lunch, so you're really working a 12-hour day, you're going to be grateful that you put in 12 hours a day over here before you got there, because you already built up the stamina and the endurance and the discipline to do that. That's probably a better way to say that. Those are kind of the big things I wanted to talk about. I just, I think the most important aspect of art is the expression, but it's also the discipline that you have to do the things that are uncomfortable so you can do what you actually want to do in the future. I think before I finish these videos for the night, since it's been a while since I did a full length video and I was sick for a little bit and now I'm back to 100, is so acting AF. One of the other things I want to do with acting AF is I want to start a podcast, and I will be starting a podcast. And I want to, because it is art related, art specific, and that's my niche, I will be talking with different actors, artists, whether it's a seamstress, acrobat, a sword master, whatever it is. Anybody who is an artist in any way, I would love to get them on the podcast. I would love to engage with them in their art, right? If somebody's a painter, we'll paint something and we'll talk, and then we'll get into the studio and we'll chat. I don't think I'm going to release this. I'm not going to give my idea. Maybe I will. I don't know. I'm going to figure it out. But it's kind of what I'm thinking at this point, because I really do think there's a lot that we could be learning, especially the younger generation, watching and hearing older actors and models talk about what it's like to work in the industry and what you can truthfully expect in the industry once you start on that day-to-day basis. Because a lot of us think, I'm going to get into it and I'm going to be so successful. I'm going to make so much money. I'm going to get famous. And I hope it happens, but the probability is that it may not. And that's okay, because for most people, it didn't. So you got to do something in the meantime. That's the whole goal of this thing, is to just give information, give knowledge, and make actors and artists feel less alone when you're stuck at your 9-to-5 job or you're stuck at your side hustle, miserable because you hate it, but you have to pay your bills. You're not alone. So that's kind of the point of this, the purpose of it all. And I really hope I'm able to help people and impact people and make it to where they don't give up on your dreams. You don't say, fuck it, I gotta go. Oops. You don't say, screw it, I gotta go do just corporate America from now on, or whatever it is. Like, don't let the art die. That's the point of all of this. All of it. I'm not trying to get rich off anybody. I just want artists to tell stories in whatever way. Whatever your medium is, whether you're a painter, whether you're a seamstress, whether you're a stunt combat, doesn't matter. Whatever your medium for artistic expression is, don't give up on it. That's what I want. I guess that's kind of it for now, guys. I just wanted to get a couple of videos done. I'll take some little clips of this here and there and put it on my Instagram and get some reels going now that I have the footage. But yeah, that's kind of it. Bye, guys.